Yo, what's going on, guys? This is my first video on this channel. I want you guys to just enjoy that Rocket League gameplay in the background. I am a champ too. I'm a pretty sweaty guy. I haven't played in a while though, so the gameplay that you're watching is fresh, and it's been like I think 2 weeks since I played. And Rocket League is the type of game where if you literally stop playing for about 2 days, it feels like all of the skills that you built up over the years has just gone out the window. It's not the same as Call of Duty where you can just log back in and just slide around, slide cancelling and killing everyone. But yeah, I really do enjoy playing Rocket League, so I just want you guys to enjoy that video in the background. And at the same time, I just want to talk to you guys about how it felt to work in an office in the corporate world at 18 years old, when all of my friends were still in school, and how it felt to just face reality and what life is actually like after studying for so long, from being born all the way up until 18 years old, and that kind of slap in the face when reality comes. And you know what's crazy? Basically, when I first entered this job at 18 years old, yeah, which was very good. Like I was getting paid very good money. I was saving a lot of money, which was then very important for me to invest in future, plans for myself. But I learnt a lot of things, but I also found a lot of sadness, because once you leave school, right, and you see what life really is, just working from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, you see that firsthand. It's a slap in the face. It's like, holy shit, this is what life is actually like. Because when you go to school, you see your friends, you can laugh about, you can go out, you might not even need to take school really seriously in order to pass. But when it comes to work, if that money is not coming in, you've got nothing to pay for your bills or nothing to support your family. And I actually went to school. I went to do investment banking at university in London, which was a very good course. However, I knew that I was only going to university because, one, society's pressures pile onto your shoulders. You have to go to school, get a graduate job, etc. That's the traditional path. On top of that, my parents expected me to go to university, which I never really gave a shit about because I'm my own man, I'll make my own decisions. But I only went to university because I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. So we'll get into all of that. I went into university to do investment banking, like I said, and literally, I kid you not, when I got there, yeah, it was COVID time as well, so it was a ghost town. There was no one on campus. Everything was strategized to the point where you come in for a certain time for a certain lecture, and then you have to leave campus. Like, the university experience was not there. All the uni experiences and all the stuff that you see in the films, it was not like that for me. Everyone was just dull, moody, depressed, sad. So that was really bad. On top of university being shit in itself as well, because you have to go in and flip and learn. But yeah, investment banking was a very good course. And I got there, and the first month, right, they're giving us all of these talks and these lectures, just kind of preparing us during COVID as well. And I remember opening up one of the books, yeah, and I saw the formulas inside, and it looked like something fucking Harry Potter drew in Hogwarts. Like, these formulas, I said, why am I here? Why am I actually putting myself voluntarily forward to basically do another 3 to 5 years of studying this hard course, when only top 4% of the graduates from investment bankings actually work in an investment bank? The rest just go to normal jobs. What am I doing here? And it really just had me thinking, just because you don't know what you want to do in life doesn't mean you should be doing something you don't want to do, right? So I said, no, I can't do this. Like, after I left sixth form and done my A-levels, that really took it out of me. I did not want to carry on. So I left. I took a gap year, and I was fighting with my dad. My dad was shouting at me all the time and saying, you're useless, you need to get a job, blah, 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 blah. It did hit me at first, because obviously them words coming from your father are pretty harsh. But at the end of the day, I knew that I was going to be something. I knew I was going to become something different, be the anomaly. And I'm on my way to do that now. And I've learned a lot. So basically what had happened was, I was speaking to my older brother, right? And my older brother, he's 6-7 years older than me, so he's been working in the corporate world, and he recommended me to join the National Health Service, basically, which is the England's health service, which is a very comfortable job if you can work in an administrative role. And as a young guy, you can save a lot of money that way, gain a lot of experiences, which is completely true because I gained a lot of experiences: communication, problem solving, critical thinking. Even though I'm a pretty smart guy myself, but in order to work in those environments, you do need to be quite, adaptive, so to speak. So I got into that. I said, you know what, why not? I was applying for many jobs and I was getting so many interviews and I was getting jobs very easily, because I'm a pretty witty guy, I'm charismatic, I'm confident. So that was never the issue. And I remember I live in like South London and I got a job in this hospital in Central London. So in order for me to get there, I would have to wake up at about 6 a.m, get into the office for 9 a.m, leave the office at 5 p.m. And by the time I got home, it was 6:30 p.m. I had no life. Like, I was gone 13, 14 hours of the day, 3-4 hours on travel, 8 hours on work. And by the time you get home, you have about 3 hours to yourself if you want to get good sleep on top of that. So if you just imagine that, like, you wake up, you're in this morning rush, you'd go into Central London, you'd be on the tube and you'd see thousands of people just rushing around you. And I don't know if you know London culture, but London culture is very stern and gloomy, moody faces all the time, 24/7. Everyone's in a rush. So I'm trying my best to get out of the city because it really does build up the anxiety in you, because you're looking around, all you can see is angry looking people. But don't get me wrong, if you stop those people and talk to them, they're actually some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. But when it comes to just that immediate expression on their face, it's not the best. I'll get to the office and it's just like, you get there and you're like, wow, I have to sit here 8 hours a day, do some bullshit work for someone else, get paid whatever I'm getting paid 20-30 grand a year, and this is it. Like, you go up, you get promoted, you only get like a 5% increase every time. What is this? Like, how is this life? And during school, they don't really prepare you for this. There's this big picture and this big vision that, when you go into corporate life, it's this, oh my God, you can work for this lawyer bank and you can work for this lawyer firm and you can work for this bank and you can work for that. I'm thinking, but when you actually get there, it's the same shit all across the board. No matter what you're doing, it's the same thing. Unless you have a really creative job, it's going to be the same thing, and it's really, really depressing, and it's a massive slap in the face. And if anything, it can either crush you, you just accept it, and you live this depressive lifestyle, and you might be in denial that you actually don't mind it, but everyone fucking hates it, or you might use it to fuel you even more. You might say, you know what, I am not going to do this for the rest of my life. I might do it now temporarily in order to build my money and build my experience, but I cannot fathom doing this for the rest of my life. And that was me. As soon as I got there, I didn't even have to get to the goddamn office. As soon as I was on the train and on the tube and seeing all those people in their fancy suits, it's just a mask, When they get out of that job, they finally feel like they're free, but they're putting on all these fancy suits and stuff. Now, working in this city was pretty nice. Like, obviously London, you have these massive buildings, these banks, and you have these nice bars and etc. But when you get used to it, it's not the best thing ever, And London is a very expensive city as well. But we'll get into all of that. During the job, all I felt was frustration. I felt like I was at a plateau. I felt static. I was always asking myself, is this what life is? I was itching to make something of myself. The people there, everyone always talks about the same thing. It's called office culture. Everyone always talks about the same thing. Hello, good morning, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. You? Yeah, I'm good. What did you get up to yesterday? Yeah, nothing much. That's it. And then you just get to work. And it's just, even thinking about it now, it's just disgusting. It's just sinister. It's gloomy. It just brings your mood down all the time. And it's just not meant for some people. I'm one of those people. I remember one of the colleagues. She was a 60-year-old woman, because the retirement age in London now is 70 years old. I remember her saying, it was so cliche, it was like it was out of a movie. Oh, did you guys see that we're getting a 2% pay rise? And everyone was getting happy. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what the fuck? Like, there's guys out there at 18 years old, my age, making shit tons of money, and everyone here is excited about a 2% pay rise. Bearing in mind, these guys have worked in this business, in this organization for 40 years, and they're getting happy about a 2% pay rise. This was my first ever experience at the quote unquote the Matrix, you know, the rat chase, seeing people just being absolutely strung along by puppet masters. You know, no one gives a fuck about you in these offices. The business doesn't give a shit about you either, and you're getting happy about a 2% pay rise. That's just gonna get taxed anyway. So all of this stuff was hitting me like a tidal wave, but it was one of the best experiences ever, because while my friends were still in university, they still haven't seen real life. I was already in the field, building experiences, accepting real life and working my way around it, which was very important, very, very important. It was almost like the canon event. It was just other stuff as well. Like, I had a colleague there, he was 50 years old, he was a very nice guy, and I'm a bit of an old soul anyway, so I get along with older people, I have a good sense of humour. And I remember me and him saying, okay, we need to go and pray in the chapel. And the manager said to my colleague, she didn't have the nerve to say that to me because I'm quite a confident guy, I'll stick up for what I believe in, but she said it to him. She said, where are you going? We have a meeting, you can't go and pray. So when I heard this, it infuriated me. I had this ferocious anger building up inside of me, and I said to her, how dare you tell him, a grown man with children, that he can't go and pray? I said, this is our religious beliefs. It is in the company policy that we can go and adhere to our religious beliefs. We're going. And I said to my colleague, let's go. And we went. And when I got back, I was furious. I was still very angry, even though I was a bit harsh on her, but she should have been more understanding and open-minded. When I got back, she apologized to me, and that's when I realized, holy fuck, people here are very weak. People here can't stick up for themselves, and that's why they are in these type of jobs, because they can't really stick up for themselves. And if they did have a backbone, and if they did accept that this is a bullshit life, they wouldn't be in the job in the first place, or they would be planning to leave. And that was also another canon event for me. And I found out there that if you have a problem in life, you deal with it immediately. Because if I hadn't said anything there, she would have known that she could speak to us however the way she wanted. And that was unacceptable. In life, when there's a problem, you deal with it immediately. And people are scared to do so. There's a quote by Rumi, which I actually saw 2 days ago. And it said, your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony, and you will find peace. And this is the truest fucking quote I've ever seen in my life. The office makes you soft. There was a period in my life where I was very stern, I was very confident, and I was ready for confrontation. And that was the period of my life where I had the most peace. No one would fuck with me. But the moment when I became very soft and, you know, you laugh too much and you're smiling too much, people take advantage of that. Now bear that in mind. There needs to be a good, healthy balance. You need to be stern, but you need to also show people a good side. But as soon as they try to overstep boundaries, you put them right back in their place. And you only have to do it once, because they will learn from that point onwards. Now, during this whole experience, I was always saying to myself, I need to do something. I have to find something. My plan was with my brother, the plan was, you don't know what you want to do in life. It appears that all you want is freedom and money, right? So you go to this job while you're young and you make your money, which was good money, and it was a very good plan. And outside of work, you build your empire. Brilliant plan, and I still believe in that to this day. I believe it's a very good strategy for young people as well. I said, I have to do something with myself. So during work, luckily for me, in my first ever corporate job, luckily for me, my managers were off-site. They were in a different location, and we would occasionally see each other when they would come to my location and work there for the day, but that was rare. So luckily for me, they could never see what I was really up to, and as long as my work was being done, which it was, because I'd get it out the way quickly, I can then just during work hours focus on other things, as in I can listen to podcasts related to what I wanted to do about business and about life. I can also research on the computers what business modules are working right now, online business modules, and just plan, just organize and plan and strategize, and just have a vision, something to work towards. I was so fucking pumped up and fueled up to get out of that place, and that is one of the most important things I found out about myself. When I left that job, right, just jumping forward a little bit, I will come back, but when I left that job, I became lazy. I didn't have the same motivation I had whilst I was working there, because as humans, we are fueled by things that we don't like, because we want to change our environment, we want to change our situation. A lot of rich people now, including Mark Gaethje, if you look at his life, he had an alcoholic, abusive father, his mum was a single mother, working 3 different jobs probably, trying to take care of him. For a whole year, he was taking cold showers, right? And that was his motivation to make something happen with his life. Okay? It's very hard to have a nice life and still make something out of yourself and to take yourself out of the comfortable zone. And I learned that about myself. I learned what discipline was. I learned that even when you're comfortable and you're getting lazy, you need to instill discipline within you. And no one is coming to do it for you. No one. As soon as you leave school, no one is coming to hold your hand. You get thrown into the workplace and that's it. Whip to do. Take care of yourself. Okay, you gotta learn about how to deal with depression, anxiety, derealization. You gotta learn with setbacks, your girlfriend fucking cheating on you, your something health issues. You gotta learn how to cope with this all by yourself. On top of that, you're still trying to plan your success as well. It's a very vicious world. It's a very vicious world, but if you can float, you will become successful. That is also very important as well. But it was just weird to me, you know, like thinking, wow, there's millions and billions of people around this planet and they're all in the same situation as me. They're coming to this job that they probably don't like, sitting there every single day and just slaving away because the way the world is built is currency, this imaginative currency, these figures on a digital screen. The same paper with a different number on it can buy you more or less things, and it was just so bizarre to me. Everything was hitting me like a tidal wave, and honestly, like when I was these thought processes, I often found myself breaking the fourth wall, like thinking about it and learning about this shit. Like it was just such a canon event for me. And I think the number one thing you have to remember in this is, no matter what situation you are in, no matter what the fuck you are going through, if you believe in yourself, if you can literally see yourself in a certain direction, in a certain location, a year from now, 2 years from now, successful, that is the only thing that matters. As long as you hold on to that. And I remember a guy that I met that was making 20 grand a month with an online digital business. He told me, the only piece of advice that I can give you, and the only one that really matters, is about staying in the game. Now what he meant by that was, as long as you never give up on your belief, as long as you never give up on your passion or your vision, you can never fail. Even if it takes you 10, 15, 20 years, at least you will get to your destination. At least you will get to where you want to be. Even if it takes longer than expected. It's still better than slaving away for 50, 60, 70 years. You got there 20 years late, but that's completely fine. Everyone has their own time. Donald Trump became president at 70. Barack Obama became president way before that age. As long as you fucking hold firm to that vision and that belief in yourself, you will always be successful. No matter how bad I hated that workplace, I always knew that I will slowly build my way to what I want to achieve. And this YouTube channel is a stepping stone in that direction. Now, if you stuck towards the end, I do want to say that on this channel, I want to discuss many different topics. And hopefully this video gets some traction so I can, talk to some of you guys and what you guys want to learn about. If you guys want to hear more about office stories, if you guys want to know about relationships, if you guys want to know about business, life advice in general, just let me know. I will be absolutely more than happy to do those videos. But it's just going to be, I think this channel is going to be great. I'll just enjoy coming on here, speaking my mind, trying to help people. And then you guys can just enjoy some Rocket League clips in the background as well. But yeah, man, like, it's just crazy, honestly, when I think about all the different jobs I've been through. And we're going to get into all of those topics, we're going to get into all the different jobs I've been through, what I've learned, where I'm at now, what I'm planning, and some of the other businesses that I've opened up. And how they went, what I learned through them as well.